Yo, it's your boy Dctree, and this is the channel Dctree-Nation that covers hoops and heroes. And today we talking hoops. We talking the Spurs being 2-2 in the Orlando bubble. And I got a message for Spurs fans everywhere. Relax, guys. Relax. People are freaking out that the Spurs have dropped 2 games against better teams. The Spurs aren't better than the Sixers, especially without LaMarcus Aldridge, okay? But the fact that we were in that game to the end and could have possibly won it without major mistakes by D. White and Murray, okay, towards the end of that game, we might have won. But we weren't supposed to beat the Sixers. We aren't supposed to beat Denver, guys. We're not supposed to beat that team. That's an upper Western Conference team, okay, that we went 7 games with last year when we had LMA. We don't have him, okay? Remember, Popovich told us this experiment in the bubble was for development. And you know what happens in development? Mistakes happen in development. Inconsistencies happen in development. People are ready to, trade Murray, trade Lonnie Walker because they had a couple bad games or a couple off experiences on the court, or performances, I should say. That's not how it works, guys. These guys are growing, okay? Growing. And really, the problem with the Spurs isn't 1 or 2 particular players. The problem with the Spurs is the philosophy. The defensive philosophy is gone. Think about it. Outside of the game versus the Grizzlies where the Spurs allowed 106 points, every other game, they've been in the 120s. What Spur team what championship pedigree Spur team gave up 120 points, gave up 130 points twice? Guys, the problem is with the defense. It's not with a particular player. Can Murray improve? Most definitely on his decision making and his consistency. Lonnie Walker can improve as well. But let's not lose sight of what's going on here. This is a development process, guys. A development process. This is for them to get better. And the only way you get better is that you make mistakes out there. So if Lonnie Walker isn't being consistent, you got to have patience with him. If Murray isn't being consistent, you have to be patient with him as well. Because it's not easy to run a Spur team with no identity. He's a point guard, a starting point guard for a team that has no identity. Sometimes DeMar shows up. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes D. White is on fire. Sometimes he isn't. Sometimes it's a run and gun team. Sometimes it's the ball sticks sometimes. So the Spurs don't have that identity right now. So if the Spurs are trying to overpower the league from an offensive standpoint, they will always fall short. They will always lose 132 to 129. They're always going to lose. The Spurs philosophy is embedded in defense. And if you're truly serious about bringing that back and wanting that back, you don't get rid of one of your best defensive players. Murray, his decision making is shaky. He has a long way to go. I'm first to admit that. But I'm not about to give away my defensive all-team, second-team defensive point guard on a team that needs to get better defensively. And people are quick to turn this into a D. White versus Murray thing. Guys, they both average around 10 points a game for the entire season. D. White is playing lights out right now, and I love that. But you don't have to pit these guys against each other. I made a video about that a few days ago. You don't have to pit these guys against each other because you need them both. The Spurs need all the help they can get, guys. We're number 9 in the West fighting for a playoff spot. When was the last time that happened? So you got to check your expectations and actually look at the full picture. You're not supposed to beat the Sixers. You're not supposed to beat the Denver Nuggets. But the fact that you were in the game, that means a lot. And I know you played to win the game. I can hear you, Herm Edwards, guys watching the video right now. I know you do that, but at the same time, you have to put these losses in perspective and not just blow up the whole team or demand a Murray trade or demand a Walker trade or demand, Keldon Johnson play all the minutes and start at point guard. Man, I've been seeing all this crazy stuff, although Keldon Johnson has been playing great. But at the same time, you need all these guys working together as a unit. And you have to get that defensive philosophy back to the Spurs, because I don't care how good those guys get. They are not superstar talents. You see what I'm saying? Now maybe Keldon may surprise us with a Kawhi-like transformation, who knows? That's still in the cards. But as of right now, these guys have no superstar ceiling. So it's going to take a team effort and a defensive effort to make this team even relevant in 1 to 2 years or 2 to 3 years. You have to bring all those guys together. The Spurs have to develop a team, likened into like a Golden State Warriors, where you have a lot of pieces put together, and maybe in the draft you get that one piece that makes it click. Okay, the days of Tim Duncan and David Robinson coming through the door to save the organization for 20 years, that's gone, guys. That's not going to happen. So this is part of development. You can't get mad at Murray every time he make a mistake, want to trade him, or every time Lonnie Walker disappears a couple games, you want to trade him. No, you got to work with these guys. You got to let them develop. Remember, Lonnie Walker just getting minutes. He just getting consistent minutes. This man spent most of the year on the bench. Don't forget that, guys. But people want to trade him because he done had 2 off games against the Sixers and the Nuggets. 2 legit playoff teams, okay? The Sixers been underachieving, but you still got Embiid. We got a team where we're starting DeMar DeRozan at the 4. And y'all surprised that the Sixers and Embiid had their way with us at the end of the game. Come on. Now, was the game within reach? Sure. But come on, guys. You got to have a realistic perspective. Then we go play the Denver Nuggets, a team that arguably could have been number 1, number 2 in the West this year, that went 7 games with us last year when we had one of the best power forwards in the league. Now, LMA is out. We still going small, and we getting killed by the Joker. He is killing us inside, okay? Because they're a bigger team, and we go toe-to-toe with them. Make some mistakes. Don't get me wrong. Make some mistakes. Could have cleaned some things up. Don't get me wrong. But, hey, we were in the game, guys. That means something. That's a positive. That's not a negative. Remember, these are for development. We're not supposed to win these games. We're not even really probably supposed to make the playoffs. If we make them, that's great. As a fan, I'm down for that. I'm happy for that. But let's be realistic, guys. We probably need the lottery pick anyway. Okay? And I know this video isn't the rah-rah go Spurs type video that a lot of people want to hear. But I think I needed to get you guys to pump your brakes a little bit and actually think about basketball, okay? Not who your favorite player is, not who you're a fanboy for, but look at the team and say, hey, this whole team needs help defensively. We are not where we're supposed to be defensively. People go into the paint like it's nothing. Now, that could be because we're going small, but at the same time, even when we had the full team, even when we had LMA, the inside was not well protected outside of maybe Pearl, okay, doing his thing. So, come on, Spurs Nation, get it together and relax, man, and relax. We are a few pieces away, okay? Definitely, if we're lucky, okay? So check your expectations, guys. Check your expectations. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thank you for sticking with me. This is a bit of a long one for me, but I had to get it out, man. I had something to say and I had to get it out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subbing. Thanks for hitting that like button. Thanks for the support. I appreciate Spurs Nation. I appreciate the NBA fans. You guys take it easy out there. Check out some of the other videos on the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.